In the tranquil heart of Texas, beneath the expansive, azure heavens, a quiet orphan named Lucas heard a voice that beckoned him toward an unimaginable destiny. The gentle call of the Virgin Mary not only transformed his life but sent spiritual ripples throughout the community, igniting a series of unexplainable events that would forever alter their world. But before we continue, kindly take out time to like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment to let us know where you are watching from. Lucas was a mere 7 years old when he first arrived at St. Anne's orphanage, a sanctuary where echoes of laughter mingled with whispers of hope. After the devastating loss of his parents, Lucas found solace within the garden's tender embrace, a refuge from a world that felt overwhelmingly vast and loud. Sister Agnes, the compassionate heart of St. Anne's, saw past Lucas' reticent exterior, recognizing a profound depth within his soul that defied his tender age. One warm afternoon, as Lucas nestled beneath the ancient oak tree, a voice as soothing as a summer breeze called his name. "Lucas, dear child." Startled and confused, he glanced around, finding only sunlight dancing through the leaves. But when he raised his gaze, he beheld her, the serene figure of the Virgin Mary, her eyes brimming with celestial kindness. "Do not be afraid," she whispered, her voice a gentle caress of comfort and mystery. From that sacred moment, Lucas began to change. Sister Agnes was the first to notice the transformation, the way he seemed to radiate an inner light, the newfound confidence that graced his words. Yet, Lucas' metamorphosis was only the beginning of a journey that would touch countless lives. Lucas' divine encounter with the Virgin Mary heralded the onset of miraculous occurrences. It started with the smallest of wonders, a lost toy miraculously found, a friend in distress comforted, but soon blossomed into something far grander. Guided by the Lady in Blue, Lucas began to perceive dangers and offer insights that defied human understanding. One evening, Lucas' urgent plea prompted Sister Agnes to uncover a perilous electrical fault, averting a potential disaster. As word of Lucas' extraordinary gift spread, the orphanage transformed into a beacon of awe and inspiration, a living testament to the Catholic belief in divine guidance and the transformative power of faith. As Lucas' remarkable tale unfolded, it became clear that his connection with the Virgin Mary was far more than a fleeting miracle. It was a profound journey of faith, leading him to new beginnings and touching the very essence of everyone at St. Anne's. To truly grasp the depth of his transformation, we must journey back to the beginning, to the moment when Lucas first heard the divine call that would forever alter his path. As the echoes of Lucas' remarkable intuition spread through the hallowed halls of St. Anne's, the air seemed to hum with an unseen energy, as if the very walls were whispering secrets of grace and wonder. Sister Agnes, ever the vigilant guardian of her flock, found herself pondering the mystery of Lucas' gift. Her faith, already firm, deepened in the presence of such divine intervention, and she marveled at how the young boy had become a conduit for something far beyond human comprehension. It was a crisp morning when the first of Lucas' small miracles unfolded. The sun cast long shadows across the courtyard, and the children, bundled in their autumn coats, played with the abandon only youth can afford. Lucas stood apart, his gaze distant yet attentive, as if listening to a melody only he could hear. The clamor of laughter and the crunch of fallen leaves underfoot filled the air, but Sister Agnes' attention was drawn elsewhere, toward the storeroom, where Lucas had pointed the day before. The storeroom, a repository for donations and supplies, had always been Sister Agnes' domain. Yet, as she approached, she recalled Lucas' earnest plea the previous evening, his eyes wide with unspoken urgency. "There's something wrong, sister," he had said, his voice a mix of innocence and certitude. "Something that could bring fire." Guided by his words and the haunting echo of the Lady in Blue, Sister Agnes unlocked the heavy door. The dim light inside revealed shelves lined with canned goods, clothing, and other essentials. It seemed ordinary at first glance, but as she moved deeper within, the faint smell of singed wires caught her attention. Her heart quickened, a prayer forming silently on her lips as she traced the odor to a damaged electrical cord, frayed and perilously close to sparking. With a quick call to the maintenance staff, the potential disaster was averted. Sister Agnes stood there, a hand on her rosary, silently thanking the Virgin Mary for her guidance through Lucas. The other staff, once skeptical, now regarded the boy with newfound reverence, and whispers of miracle danced on the lips of everyone at the orphanage. As days passed, Lucas' gift continued to manifest in ways both small and profound. The children, who once saw him as merely another face among them, now sought his company with an eagerness that was both joyful and curious. It was as if Lucas carried a piece of heaven with him, and in his presence, they found solace from the uncertainties of their young lives. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low in the sky, painting the clouds with hues of gold and crimson, little Anna ran to Lucas, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her beloved stuffed rabbit, a gift from her late mother, was missing. Her distress was palpable, each sob a testament to the depth of her loss. Lucas knelt before her, his eyes gentle and full of empathy. "Let's find him together," Lucas said softly, taking her small hand in his. He led her on a winding path through the orphanage, pausing now and then as if heeding an invisible guide. The other children followed, their curiosity piqued by the unfolding drama. Finally, in a quiet corner of the garden, beneath the gnarled branches of an ancient oak, they found the rabbit nestled in the grass. Anna's face lit up with an incandescent joy, and she hugged her toy tightly, whispering her gratitude to Lucas. The moment was simple, yet profound, a reminder of the power of compassion and the tender mercies of divine providence. Sister Agnes watched from a distance, her heart swelling with pride and a deep, abiding faith. Lucas was not just a vessel of miracles, he was a teacher, guiding them all in the ways of love and community. She saw how his presence was knitting the orphanage into a tapestry of hope, each thread strengthened by shared faith and collective kindness. Under Lucas' gentle influence, the children began to mirror his acts of empathy. They helped each other with chores, shared their meager treasures, and offered comfort in times of need. The orphanage, once a place of longing and dreams deferred, became a sanctuary of warmth and mutual support. As the first snows of winter dusted the landscape, Lucas stood gazing at the sky, his heart full of peace. The lady in blue was ever present in his thoughts, her message of love and guidance echoing in his soul. He understood now that his gift was not just to foresee, but to inspire, to lead others toward the light of faith and the embrace of divine love. Sister Agnes, sensing the change, gathered the children one evening around the hearth. The fire crackled warmly, casting flickering shadows on the walls. She spoke to them of miracles, of how God's love manifests in myriad ways, often through the least expected channels. "Lucas," she said, her voice filled with emotion, "has shown us that faith is not just a word, but a living, breathing force. It can move mountains, heal wounds, and light the darkest paths." Lucas listened, his face serene, as the children nodded in understanding. In that moment, the orphanage was not just a refuge, it was a cradle of faith, nurtured by the miraculous presence of a small boy and the eternal grace of the Virgin Mary. And so, as the winds of winter howled outside, the spirit of Saint Anne's glowed ever brighter, a beacon of hope in a world in need of miracles. Lucas' journey was just beginning, but already it had touched the hearts of all who called the orphanage home, paving the way for more wonders yet to come. The warm glow from the hearth flickered on the faces of the children gathered around Lucas, their eyes wide with wonder. The night wore on outside, its chill kept at bay by the warmth of shared stories and the comforting presence of Sister Agnes, who sat nearby, knitting calmly. The room was filled with a peaceful quiet, broken only by the crackling logs and the soft murmur of prayer. Lucas, however, was restless. His eyes were distant, reflecting something beyond the room's cozy confines. Sister Agnes noticed his demeanor and felt a familiar stirring in her heart. She had learned to trust these moments, where Lucas seemed to be listening to something unseen, something divine. "Lucas, dear, what is it?" Sister Agnes asked gently, putting her knitting aside. He turned to her, his expression serious yet serene. "The Johnsons," he said softly. "They need help. We must go." The children looked at each other, a ripple of concern running through them. The Johnsons were a kind family that lived on the outskirts of town, known for their generosity and the lush fields that surrounded their modest farmhouse. But tonight, the storm outside raged with an unusual ferocity, the wind howling like a restless spirit. Sister Agnes hesitated for just a moment, glancing at the window where rain lashed fiercely. But the certainty in Lucas' voice, the calm assurance that belied his years, left no room for doubt. "Very well," she said, rising with resolve. "We'll go." Bundling up against the storm, Sister Agnes and Lucas prepared to leave. The children watched anxiously as Lucas donned his coat, the fabric too large for his small frame but filled with a sense of purpose. Sister Agnes led the way, her heart praying silently to the Virgin Mary for guidance and protection. The storm was relentless, sheets of rain obscuring their vision as they ventured forth. The path to the Johnsons' farm was treacherous, but Lucas seemed unfazed, his steps sure and steady. Sister Agnes followed closely, her faith anchoring her against the tempest. As they neared the farm, the familiar silhouette of the Johnsons' house came into view, its windows dark against the stormy night. Sister Agnes' heart tightened with worry. Something was amiss. They reached the door and knocked loudly, their fists echoing against the wood. It was Mr. Johnson who answered, his face lined with worry and relief at the sight of them. "Sister Agnes! Lucas! Thank God you're here!" he exclaimed, ushering them inside. "Emily, she's missing." The words hung heavy in the air, charged with fear and urgency. Emily, the Johnsons' spirited daughter, had disappeared during the storm, and despite their frantic search, there had been no sign of her. Lucas stepped forward, his eyes meeting Mr. Johnson's with a calm assurance that seemed almost otherworldly. "We'll find her," he said simply, the conviction in his voice like a beacon of hope. Guided by an unseen hand, Lucas led them back into the storm, his small figure moving with a purpose that belied the chaos around them. Sister Agnes and Mr. Johnson followed, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and faith. The rain was relentless, but Lucas pressed on, the path unfolding before him as if illuminated by some heavenly light. As they reached the edge of the fields, the sound of rushing water filled the air, a creek swollen beyond its banks by the storm. There, on the far side, they saw her Emily, clinging to the branch of a tree, the floodwaters swirling perilously around her. Her cries were faint, carried away by the wind, but her fear was palpable. Sister Agnes gasped, her heart aching at the sight. But Lucas remained calm, his eyes fixed on the scene with a quiet determination. And then, as if guided by the lady in blue herself, he moved forward, his steps sure and unwavering. Mr. Johnson hesitated, the fear for his daughter mingling with the awe of witnessing what felt like a miracle unfolding before his eyes. But Lucas' faith was infectious, and with a deep breath he followed, praying for strength. The water was icy, but Lucas waded forward, his small figure a testament to courage and faith. As he reached Emily, he extended a hand, his eyes filled with the gentle assurance that had come to define him. "Emily!" he called, his voice clear above the storm. "Take my hand!" With a sob of relief, Emily reached out, her fingers grasping Lucas with a strength born of desperation. Together they made their way back, the water rushing around them but never overwhelming them, as if a protective grace shielded their path. Sister Agnes watched, tears mingling with the rain on her cheeks. It was a moment of divine intervention, a testament to the power of faith and the presence of the Virgin Mary in their lives. Once safely on solid ground, Emily collapsed into her father's arms, her body trembling with relief and gratitude. Mr. Johnson held her close, his voice choked with emotion. "Thank you, Lucas." "Thank you?" Lucas simply smiled, his face serene and filled with a light that seemed to come from within. "Thank the lady in blue," he said softly, his words a reminder of the divine grace that had guided them. As they made their way back to the Johnsons' farmhouse, the storm began to abate, the winds calming as if acknowledging the miracle that had unfolded. The air was filled with a sense of peace, the darkness lifting to reveal the first glimmers of dawn. Back at the orphanage, the children gathered once more, their faces alight with the wonder of the tale Sister Agnes recounted. It was a story of faith and redemption, of the miraculous power of prayer and divine intervention. And as Lucas sat among them, his presence a living testament to the sacred connection he shared with the Virgin Mary, the spirit of Saint Anne shone ever brighter, a beacon of hope in a world yearning for miracles. The journey was far from over, but with each step, they were guided by a faith that could move mountains and light even the darkest paths. As the sun rose over the horizon, its golden rays gently kissed the earth, casting a warm glow over St. Anne's orphanage. The children, still captivated by the tale of Lucas and the miraculous storm, gradually returned to their morning routines. Yet, the air was charged with a renewed sense of hope and awe, as if the very essence of the divine had brushed against their lives. News of Lucas' story, the miraculous events, and his connection to the Virgin Mary spread beyond the confines of the small town. In Austin, a couple named Daniel and Maria Carter found themselves profoundly touched by the tale. Unable to have children of their own, they had long prayed for guidance and a sign from God, yearning for the gift of a family. When they heard of Lucas, they felt an inexplicable pull towards him, as if their prayers had finally been answered. On a bright Saturday morning, Daniel and Maria made their way to St. Anne's, their hearts filled with a mixture of anticipation and hope. The journey was one of faith, a pilgrimage of sorts, as they traveled towards a destiny that felt written in the stars. As they approached the orphanage, the stately building stood solemnly under the vast sky, a sanctuary of love and devotion. Sister Agnes greeted them at the entrance, her eyes reflecting a deep understanding of the couple's journey. "Welcome to St. Anne's," she said warmly, her voice carrying a gentle wisdom. "I believe you are here to meet Lucas." "Yes," Maria replied, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. "We've heard so much about him, and we feel drawn to him." Sister Agnes nodded, a knowing smile playing on her lips. "Come, let me introduce you to him." As they walked through the corridors of the orphanage, the walls seemed to resonate with the laughter and hope of countless children. The couple felt a profound sense of peace, as if they were being enveloped in a divine embrace. They soon found themselves in the playroom, where Lucas sat surrounded by the other children, his face alight with a joyful innocence. "Lucas!" Sister Agnes called softly. Lucas looked up, his eyes meeting those of the visitors. There was a moment of silence, a sacred pause where time seemed to stand still. Maria felt a surge of emotion, tears welling up as she looked into the eyes of the child who had already captured her heart. "Hello, Lucas," Daniel said, his voice gentle and kind. "We've heard so much about you." Lucas smiled, a shy yet warm gesture that seemed to light up the room. "Hello?" he replied softly, his voice barely above a whisper. As the morning unfolded, the Carters spent time with Lucas, sharing stories and laughter, their connection growing with each passing moment. Sister Agnes observed from a distance, her heart both heavy and light. She knew that this was the path God had laid out for Lucas, a journey of love and new beginnings. Later, as the sun hung high in the sky, Sister Agnes took a moment to reflect in the chapel. The flickering candles cast dancing shadows on the walls, and she knelt in silent prayer, seeking strength and guidance. Her heart ached at the thought of Lucas leaving, yet she understood that love often meant letting go, trusting in God's greater plan. "Dear Lord," she prayed, her voice a whisper in the sacred silence, "thank you for bringing Lucas into our lives. May he find the family he so deserves, and may your love guide him always." As she rose, a sense of peace settled over her, a gentle reminder of the Catholic belief in providence and the divine orchestration of life's events. She knew that Lucas' adoption was not an end, but a beginning, one that would fulfill the prayers of both Lucas and the Carters. A few days later, the adoption process was set into motion, each step a testament to the power of faith and the healing grace of God. The children at St. Anne's gathered to bid farewell to their friend, their hearts full of joy for Lucas yet tinged with the sadness of parting. "Will you come visit us, Lucas?" one of the younger children asked, her eyes wide and hopeful. "Of course," Lucas replied, his voice earnest. "We'll always be friends." Sister Agnes stood with Lucas as he prepared to leave, her heart full of love and gratitude. "Remember, Lucas," she said softly, "you are a blessing to everyone you meet. May your new family be filled with as much love and joy as you've brought to us." Lucas hugged her tightly, the bond between them unspoken yet profound. "Thank you, sister," he whispered, his voice full of emotion. As Lucas left with the Carters, The other children waved goodbye, their voices echoing in a chorus of well wishes. The journey ahead was unknown, but it was one paved with love, hope, and the unwavering belief in God's benevolence. Back at the orphanage, life continued with its familiar rhythm, yet the spirit of Saint Anne shone ever brighter, a testament to the miracles of faith and the boundless possibilities of love. Sister Agnes watched the horizon, her heart full of peace, knowing that Lucas' story would continue to inspire and uplift all who heard it. And so, with each new day, the legacy of Lucas, the gift of a new family, and the enduring power of prayer and providence continued to light the darkest paths, a beacon of hope in a world yearning for miracles. The morning sun bathed St. Anne's orphanage in a gentle, golden light, casting long shadows across the courtyard where the children had gathered. Today was a day of mixed emotions, a day to say goodbye to Lucas, the boy who had brought so much joy and hope to their lives. The air was filled with a sense of anticipation and nostalgia, as if the very walls of the orphanage were whispering tales of the past, present, and future. Sister Agnes stood at the heart of the gathering, her eyes moist with both pride and a touch of sorrow. She watched as Lucas, his small hands clutching a well-loved suitcase, moved through the crowd of his peers, exchanging hugs and promises to write. The children, each with their own stories and dreams, surrounded him, eager to share one last moment with the boy who had become more than just a friend. "Lucas!" Sister Agnes called softly, beckoning him toward the garden. The place had always been a sanctuary for him, a space where he could feel the gentle whispers of God's love amidst the vibrant blossoms and the soft rustling of leaves. As they walked together, the garden seemed to come alive, a tapestry of color and life, its beauty heightened by the bittersweet occasion. In the center of the garden, beneath the shade of a venerable oak tree, Sister Agnes paused. She placed a gentle hand on Lucas' shoulder, guiding him to kneel beside her in the cool, fragrant grass. "Before you leave, I want to give you a blessing, Lucas. A blessing for your journey and for the new chapter that awaits you." Lucas nodded, his eyes wide and earnest, his heart brimming with faith and gratitude. "I would like that, sister. I feel like the Virgin Mary has always watched over me, and I know she will continue to do so." Sister Agnes smiled, her heart swelling with love and admiration for this boy whose faith was as unwavering as the stars. "Indeed, Lucas. The Virgin Mary, our Heavenly Mother, is always with us, guiding us, protecting us. Her presence is a constant reminder of God's love and mercy." As she began to pray, her voice was a gentle melody that seemed to harmonize with the birdsong and the rustling leaves. "Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessing upon Lucas as he embarks on this new journey. May your wisdom guide him, your strength sustain him, and your love surround him. And may the Blessed Virgin Mary, our Mother, watch over him with her tender care." Lucas closed his eyes, feeling the warmth of the prayer envelop him, a sacred shield against the uncertainties of the world beyond St. Anne's. He knew that the Virgin Mary's perpetual presence would be his guiding light, a beacon of hope and comfort in times of doubt. As the prayer concluded, Sister Agnes placed a gentle kiss on Lucas' forehead, a gesture of maternal love and blessing. "Remember, Lucas, you are never alone. The love and prayers of St. Anne's will always be with you." Lucas stood, his heart light and his spirit buoyed by the blessing. "Thank you, Sister Agnes. I will never forget everything you and St. Anne's have done for me. I promise to make you all proud." They returned to the courtyard where the rest of the orphanage community awaited. A celebration had been prepared in Lucas' honor, a feast of simple yet heartfelt offerings, a testament to the love and camaraderie that had flourished within these walls. Laughter and stories filled the air, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of memories that bound them together. The children presented Lucas with a small scrapbook, its pages filled with drawings, notes, and photographs, a keepsake of the time they had shared. Lucas flipped through it, his eyes glistening with tears of joy and gratitude. "This is the best gift ever," he said, holding the book close to his heart. "I'll cherish it forever." As the sun began its descent, casting the garden in hues of amber and rose, Lucas knew it was time to leave. The carters stood at the edge of the crowd, ready to welcome him into their family. Lucas gave one last look around the courtyard, memorizing every face, every smile, every tear. He knew he was leaving behind a legacy, a testament to the power of faith, love, and the miracles that could happen when hearts were open to God's grace. With a deep breath, he approached the Carters, who welcomed him with open arms and warm smiles. "Are you ready, Lucas?" Mr. Carter asked gently. Lucas nodded, his heart full of hope for the journey ahead. "Yes, I'm ready." As they walked toward the waiting car, Lucas turned back one last time, waving to the friends and family he was leaving behind. The children waved back, their voices a chorus of encouragement and love. "Goodbye, Lucas. We'll miss you. Write to us. God bless you, Lucas." Sister Agnes watched him go, her heart a mixture of joy and sadness. She knew that Lucas' story was just beginning, a story that would continue to inspire and uplift all who heard it. His departure was not an end, but a new beginning, a testament to the enduring power of prayer, providence, and the perpetual presence of the Virgin Mary. As the car drove away, taking Lucas toward his new life, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the world in a gentle twilight. Sister Agnes stood quietly, her heart full of peace, knowing that Lucas' legacy would continue to shine brightly at St. Anne's, a beacon of hope in a world yearning for miracles. And so, as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the orphanage settled into its familiar rhythm, the spirit of St. Anne's ever vibrant, a testament to the miracles of faith and the boundless possibilities of love. As the car whisked Lucas away from St. Anne's, the familiar landscape of the orphanage gradually faded into memory, replaced by the bustling streets and vibrant hues of the city. Lucas sat in the back seat, his gaze fixed on the horizon, where the last traces of the sun lingered like a gentle promise. His heart was a tapestry of emotions, excitement for the new life that awaited, and a profound gratitude for the place and the people who had shaped him. His new home was a charming house nestled in a quiet neighborhood, adorned with blooming flowers that swayed in the evening breeze. As the car came to a stop, Lucas was greeted by his adoptive parents, the Johnsons, whose faces were alight with warmth and welcome. Mrs. Johnson, with her gentle smile, enveloped Lucas in a hug that felt like the embrace of a long-lost family. Mr. Johnson, a kind man with eyes that spoke of wisdom and kindness, extended his hand, his grip firm yet comforting. "Welcome home, Lucas," Mr. Johnson said, his voice resonant with sincerity. Lucas felt a sense of belonging wash over him. "Thank you," he replied softly, his heart swelling with gratitude. The Johnsons were a family rooted in faith, their home a sanctuary of love and devotion. As the days turned into weeks, Lucas found himself woven into the fabric of their lives, his presence adding a new vibrancy to their household. He embraced his role within the family with open arms, carrying the lessons from St. Anne's with him like cherished heirlooms. He helped Mrs. Johnson in the kitchen, learning to bake bread with the same care and patience Sister Agnes had imparted. With Mr. Johnson, he spent afternoons in the garden, tending to the earth, a practice that became a meditative ritual, grounding him in the beauty of creation. In the evenings, they gathered for prayer, their voices a harmonious blend of supplication and thanksgiving. It was during these moments, with their heads bowed in reverence, that Lucas felt the Lady in Blue's presence most profoundly. Her image, vivid and serene, was a constant reminder of the miracles that faith could manifest in everyday life. One night, as they sat together in the living room, the soft glow of a candle casting dancing shadows on the walls, Mrs. Johnson spoke of their desire to visit St. Anne's. "We'd love to see the place that means so much to you, Lucas," she said, her voice gentle with understanding. Lucas nodded, his heart leaping at the thought. "I'd like that very much," he said, his voice tinged with emotion. He longed to return, to see Sister Agnes and the children, to walk the familiar paths that had been the backdrop of his childhood. The day of their visit arrived, bright and clear, the sky a vast canvas of azure. As they drove toward the orphanage, Lucas felt a sense of anticipation mingled with nostalgia. The car rounded the final bend, and there it was St. Anne's, standing proud and timeless, its walls echoing with the laughter and stories of countless children. Sister Agnes was waiting at the entrance, her face breaking into a radiant smile as she caught sight of Lucas. "Welcome back, dear Lucas," she said, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears of joy. Lucas rushed forward, enveloping her in a hug that spoke volumes of love and gratitude. "I've missed you, sister," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "And we've missed you, dear one," Sister Agnes replied, her hand gently patting his back. The Johnsons were introduced to Sister Agnes, and together they toured the orphanage. Lucas found himself sharing stories of his time there, his voice animated as he recounted the adventures and lessons learned. The children gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder as they listened, their laughter ringing through the halls. As they walked through the garden, now in full bloom, Lucas paused by the statue of the Virgin Mary. The lady in blue stood serene, her presence a calming balm to his soul. He knelt before her, his heart whispering a prayer of thanksgiving for the countless blessings he had received. "Thank you, Mother," he murmured, his voice a soft echo in the stillness. "For guiding me, for watching over me, for the miracles you've woven into my life." He felt a gentle breeze caress his cheek, a silent affirmation of her presence. Rising, he joined the others, his heart light and full of peace. As they gathered for a meal in the dining hall, the air was filled with the joyful chatter of stories and shared memories. Sister Agnes spoke of the changes at St. Anne's, her voice filled with hope for the future. "Your story, Lucas, has inspired so many," she said, her eyes meeting his. "It's a testament to the power of faith and the enduring presence of Our Lady." Lucas nodded, his heart swelling with gratitude. "It's her story too," he replied. "She's the one who's always been there, guiding and protecting us all." The day unfolded in a tapestry of laughter, reflection, and renewed connections. As the sun began its descent, casting a golden glow over the orphanage, Lucas stood once more at the entrance, his heart full of contentment and hope. He turned to Sister Agnes, his voice steady and filled with promise. "I'll come back often," he said. "This place is my home too, and I want to be part of its future." Sister Agnes nodded, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "You'll always be welcome here, Lucas. You're part of our family." As they drove away, the orphanage a silhouette against the twilight sky, Lucas reflected on his journey. The lady in blue had changed his life in ways he could never have imagined, her presence a constant source of strength and inspiration. Her miracles were not just the grand gestures of divine intervention, but the everyday moments of grace that illuminated his path. In his new life, Lucas embraced the lessons of faith, love, and hope that St. Anne's had instilled in him. He understood now that miracles were not confined to the pages of Scripture or the annals of history. They were woven into the very fabric of existence, waiting to be discovered by those with hearts open to belief. And so, as the stars began to twinkle in the vast expanse of the night sky, Lucas settled into his new life with the Johnsons, his heart a beacon of hope and faith. The story of the Lady in Blue continued to unfold, a testament to the transformative power of love and the boundless possibilities of miracles. In the quiet corners of his soul, Lucas knew that he was part of something greater, a journey that would inspire and uplift, a lasting miracle in a world yearning for the divine touch of grace. If this video touched you, hit the subscribe button and share this with someone that needs to see it.